With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at Meisterkhan.com or on YouTube under Meisterkhan Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress Ayushi Chhabra with me. So welcome, Ayushi.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you on the show. I was thrilled to death when you agreed to come on. Of course, I loved you on Star Trek Picard. I thought you were so terrific on there. And when that episode first came out, I was telling my wife, I was like, we have to get her for the show.
Oh, thank you.
And then so here we are. It took a little while, but we got you.
Yeah, and now we have two things to celebrate.
Oh my gosh! I was so excited when I saw you were going to be on the new Resident Evil. I was like, now's the time. See, I was like, now I know why we didn't have her immediately.
Yes.
On Picard.
So more to talk about.
Now we've got more to talk about. But before all that, because we have to talk about both of those. But before that, tell me a little bit about what got you into acting. What made you want to become an actress?
I grew up watching a lot of Bollywood films.
Yeah.
And I was a loner kid. I used to just imagine that I was a Bollywood actress. I mean, I'm even dressed in an Indian outfit because if I'm not auditioning for something, I generally like to wear Indian clothes. I'm as Indian as it gets. And I actually wanted to move to Mumbai and pursue acting there. And
really?
Yeah. But at the time I was dating someone and he wanted to move to LA. So I was like, okay, great. I'll just move to LA with you. But so that's how LA ended up happening.
That's how that happens.
Yeah. That's just, it's destiny. You kind of have to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Bollywood that got me into acting. And, who knew that I'd end up working in Hollywood instead?
Yeah, do you still have those aspirations at some point to cross over into Bollywood?
I think the world is becoming so much smaller now. So
yeah.
There's a Bollywood director watching this right now. I'm here.
I like the fact that the two, Hollywood, Bollywood, they're starting to influence each other, which is really just been the last few years that you're kind of seeing those influences. And I think that's really neat.
I think so too. I think that also nowadays actors can send auditions from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
When I booked Resident Evil, it was actually shot in South Africa, and that's where I sent that's where I did my audition for it. So, and it's an international show, and it's on Netflix. So it just comes to show that you could be anywhere in the world now, and you could be.
That's true, because you never know where it's going to be shot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you have, like, growing up, was there a movie that was your favorite, either from here or over there?
Yeah, the first movie I ever watched, the first English movie I ever watched was Titanic, and I loved it. Uh-huh. I loved the whole grandeur, and it was a love story, and it was tragic, and I was all about that. And it was 3 hours long, so it reminded me so much of Indian films. Well, what Indian films used to be. And that was my favorite film. Yeah.
That's pretty great. I saw that on New Year's Eve when it first came out. I can't remember the year now. It's been a while, but it was New Year's Eve when I saw it. I mean, do you think, tell the truth.
Yeah.
Wasn't there room on that door or whatever?
Yes. That still makes me sad.
What was that nonsense?
Oh, there was more than enough room.
Yes, I just scoot over a couple inches. He could have made it on there.
Exactly. That still makes me sad. But then Titanic wouldn't be that, right?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. And it holds up. Like, if you go back and watch it now, it's still just as good.
Right? And Celine Dion, those, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just a classic.
I know. My wife still has not seen it.
What?
No, it's not me. I have tried. I'm like, what?
Why? Why not?
I don't know. She's fearing the emotions, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it is a lot of emotions.
I mean, you have to set aside an evening for Titanic.
Oh yeah.
You want to have a nice bottle of wine and you want it set up because you're going to be emotional.
Absolutely, you need someone with you.
You need somebody with you.
Advise this alone. Don't watch this movie alone.
Do not watch it alone. And you need to, like, when it's over, that needs to be the end of your evening because you're going to be exhausted.
Completely.
Yeah. Don't plan anything after it.
No, that's it. Yeah. Tissues, ice cream, someone to cuddle.
Oh, ice cream. That's good. Yeah, that's good. I'm on board with that. You need good food, good wine, somebody good to watch it with. That's a good evening.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah.
So did you, like, growing up, did you do theater, that type of thing? Were you involved in things like that?
I did, actually. I used to do theater. I grew up in India, Nigeria, and South Africa. So when I was in India, I did my high schooling there in a place called Chennai in the south of India. And I used to do theater there. And I remember to this day that my very first play, I won. It was a competition of plays, and I won Best Actress.
Nice.
And I just remember thinking, oh my God, as a child, I used to get so bullied in school because I was a little heavier than the rest of the kids. And just when I won that award, I was like, okay, this is something I'm good at. This is my thing. That no matter how rough life gets, I can always return to this one thing that makes me so happy. And I knew in that moment that I was doing something good because I felt so good. You know what I mean? So, and when it was recognized by other people and I got that award, I was like, wow, look at all these people that want to be friends with me now.
That's rare at a young age. That's rare to find your thing. I mean, you found your thing.
Yeah. And I think it's so true to this day as well, is that no matter what happens in life, art is something that I can always go back to. And it always makes me feel alive.
Do you sing? Do you dance?
I do Bollywood dancing, not professionally, but you will always see me dancing in between my life whenever I have a little moment.
I've got, okay. So here's my idea for you and I to do we can do a YouTube channel together, and it's just you teaching me to dance.
Let's do it.
Because I literally, I don't just have like 2 left feet. There's like 6 of them. It's bad.
Oh my God. Let's do it.
But you got to teach me the Bollywood dance.
I will. Yeah. I would be happy to. I just want someone to dance with. I don't even have to.
It'll either be this like triumphant, this great occurrence, or it'll be hilarious. But either way, we're going to get like 1 million views.
We'll get 1 million views and a lot of dopamine and serotonin and all those happy emotions. So either way, it's a win-win.
It actually, I always thought that style of dance looks so fun.
It's so fun, and it's such a workout too.
Is it really? I guess it looks like it is.
It is. Yeah. I know when I haven't danced to Bollywood in a while that, when I get tired, it's like after a CrossFit workout.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not that intense, but still.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks like it because it looks like it kind of puts you through it a little bit, but in a fun way.
In a fun way.
Yeah. All right. There we go. There's our next project. Once you wrap up all this little stuff you're doing, Resident Evil stuff.
No, I'm so down. Let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. So you spent some
Hollywood.
Yes. Right in the middle. Like boom. I'm in. I think it's a hit.
Sorry, you were saying something?
I was going to say that you spent some time hosting. You've done some host work in the past. I wondered how that came about. What made you get into to that side of the entertainment business?
I actually always wanted to be an actress, but my parents wanted me to have a degree in something, to study something as a backup plan. So that's why I studied broadcast journalism.
Parents will do that.
Parents will do that. So I studied broadcast journalism for 4 years, and I wanted to either be a producer or a host or both. And And the very first job that I ever ended up doing right out of college was I was a host for African News Network, but I was also a producer for their morning breakfast show. So I was trying to do two jobs at once because I'm an overachiever.
Of course.
and that's actually also just me being a host gave me an opportunity to be in front of the camera, which, gave me experience with working with the camera and being comfortable in front of it, because I didn't really have much acting experience. My acting experience really started when I moved to Los Angeles to study at New York Film Academy. That's when it all kicked off.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, hosting, that makes sense to me because it kind of gives your parents a little of what they're looking for.
Yeah.
But it is technically kind of entertainment. So it fits for you a little bit too. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good compromise to start out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a little tip for anyone struggling with the same issue. Because parents will always say that, and it makes sense too, because our industry is so up and down. It's so uncertain.
It really is. Yeah, it's a tough industry. I know. It's a tough industry for sure. And as a parent, you worry about that stuff. And you're like, we just want you to have something steady.
I understand that now more than ever. Now that I'm in my 30s, I completely understand why that education for 4 years was so important.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes in handy. You got to have a fallback.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well, also maybe something to keep you busy, because there are times when I don't have that many auditions. There are times when the book is slow. So it's good to be able to be productive instead of just waiting around for an audition to come. And also, we live in a world of content production. So having that education really helps now.
Yeah, that ability to host and to interact with people, that's a good skill. That's not like you can't use that skill. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Exactly.
How many different languages do you speak?
Oh, I only speak English and Hindi.
Okay, very good. Very good. I didn't know if you picked up any with your time in Africa. Yeah.
No, I wish. I really wish. In fact, if I can, I would still love to learn one of the African languages.
It's not too late.
Yeah, because I think I spent more time of my life in Africa than I did in India. So, I think I have more affiliation to it.
Got a connection there. It's one of those things that languages are funny because you can learn them and get, serviceable with them. But if you don't use it, it's just gone. You lose it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of tricky. So, okay. So Star Trek Picard, let's start there. So you come to LA, you get this role in this little show that nobody's heard of.
No. I come to LA. I auditioned for 7 years.
Wow.
It was 7 years for every co-star, guest star, series regular. Literally,
it's amazing.
Any audition under the sun. I book a lot of commercials, but nothing theatrically. I actually ended up booking a co-star on a smaller show. And my scene was cut out, so that didn't even make it. My very first credit was a pretty cowgirl on a show called, God, I don't even remember the name of the show, but it was cut out, and I remember being so sad. I just had one line. My line was, "Hiya, handsome," but
but that line was important to you.
That line was important to me because it was my foot in the door. Finally, finally a TV booking. So I was really looking forward to seeing myself for a half a second on TV.
I mean, what perseverance! That's a long time. And I know you did a lot of commercial work, and that definitely helps because commercials is not bad work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what kept you going to just kind of keep putting it out there until the right thing came along.
My manager, Allison, who still believes in me so much.
Allison's awesome.
Allison is so sweet. And I just remember, before Star Trek Picard, crying to her in the car, and I was like, okay, listen, I'm approaching 30s. I'm approaching my 30s. My parents are Indian. They want me to get married. I'm going to have to quit this career. I can't do this anymore.
You either find me a role or I'm getting married.
She was just like, we keep finding you the roles. It's just a matter of the stars
Yeah.
aligning. The talent is there. Look, at first the talent was not there. I had to work on it because also I wasn't
Sure.
American. I had come from South Africa. I was Indian. You know, the accent was all over the place. I didn't have this American personality, which is just like fun and like easygoing. And I was just such a try hard. And that was, you know, you could see that in my acting too. So initially it was hard to book anything TV and film, like anything big.
Right.
So it took a little time to live here, to really assimilate into the culture. And then I think I got better and better with classes and going and doing more auditions. And I'm so glad I had Allison just, you know, telling me to keep going, to not give up. Because a week after that conversation that I had with her in the car, I went in for Star Trek Picard. And that was an audition.
That changed things a little bit.
It did, yeah. Once you have a big credit, a show like that on your resume, it's on your IMDb, things start to open up. People start to then bring you in for bigger roles and take you a little bit more seriously. I think I'm so glad that I didn't book that. I mean, I'm so glad that that scene of me as a pretty cowgirl didn't make it to TV, because the very first thing that I ended up...
I kind of want to see it now, though.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But it's a good thing, because my first credit ended up being, you know, a really big credit. So, and also the sci-fi community is amazing.
I know. I was going to ask you that.
So
what did it surprise you, the response?
Yeah,
from the Trek community.
The Trek community is so amazing. The show, like I think a month after the show came out, I received a box of cards with my face on it that I had to sign, like that I had to autograph. And I was like, who am I? What is this life?
Well,
so, and then
that's amazing.
I would just see Pell all over the internet, and that was just such a nice feeling, because all these years go by and no one sees your work. And then finally you do something and it's out there and people love it. And it's such a nice feeling.
What was the response from family?
Oh, my dad, who's all the way in South Africa, bought these autograph cards that in America and had them, you know, sent over to him during the pandemic. And it got lost so many times, and he would be on the phone with the shipping company. And like, this is so important to me. I want it. And my daughter's face is on it. And even when I was going through immigration, I would pull that autograph card out and be like, oh, look, this is me.
That's me.
That alien is me. Because they always ask, oh, what have you been in, you know? So it was nice to be able to just pull that out and say, oh, here's my passport and here's my autograph card as Pell.
Well, and you know, once you've done anything sci-fi, especially Trek, but anything, Resident Evil will be the same way.
Yeah.
You're set. Now you can just show up at any convention for the rest of your life.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I haven't even tried that yet because of the
you have to do that.
Yeah, because of 2020, you know, there weren't any conventions happening.
No.
This year was quite busy, so yeah, I'm definitely excited to try that out. So.
Yeah, no, that's one thing. The community is, by and large, very positive. I mean, you get some knuckleheads, but by and large, very positive and very you know, it's definitely a positive experience. You should definitely do some conventions.
I will. Yeah, I would love to get into it.
So talk about Resident Evil a little bit. I was excited for the show. I've always been a fan. And then I got to see that you were on there, and I was like, well, bonus. Pretty good. But did you have any knowledge of the Resident Evil franchise beforehand, or did you go back after and try to learn some of it?
No, I'm still learning.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So many connections in this current show to games that have been, you know, this has been going on for so many years. It's a huge franchise. And I'm only now picking up on the certain connections that they've made, you know. So it's a lot to learn. I actually didn't even know I was auditioning for it when I auditioned for it in South Africa. I was just told it was an international series. And I just went in there, and in there they needed an Indian scientist with an American accent, and you know, just what are the chances? So
yeah,
I
apparently pretty high.
No, it's actually It's actually really weird. I was in Los Angeles. My visa had been denied, my entertainment visa, so I had to go back home in the middle of 2020. And I didn't think that I was going to be an actress again. I didn't think that
really
I was ever going to come back to LA again. And Allison actually put me in touch with agents in Cape Town, but I didn't really know if South Africa had much of an industry going at the time because of the pandemic. Because I knew things had slowed down in the US. I could just imagine what it would be like,
right.
in South Africa. But I was wrong because for 3 months I didn't audition, but then finally I got an audition from my agents in Cape Town, and they said it was for an international show, but they didn't know what the name of the show was. Nobody knew it was going to be Resident Evil. And I just went in, did this audition, and I remember at the time thinking, oh, every single thing that I have learned for 8 years in LA, everything that I've learned for 8 years in LA, I'm going to use all of that in this audition, because I don't know if I'm going to get to audition like this again, because it's so scarce to have that. And after that, I just went and had coffee with my dad and forgot about the audition, forgot about the role, just figured that, what are the chances of me getting it? And a month later, I got a call from my agent, and he said, you booked it, and they need you in Cape Town next week, and the show is Resident Evil, and you will be in 2 or 3 episodes. And
that's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, do you look back on that and just think about, how close that was to maybe you're doing something else?
Yeah.
And now you're kind of established now.
That's very true. Like, I look back at that because I remember someone asked me this question. I remember on the flight back to South Africa from LA, I just remember thinking, so devastated. All I could think was that this is it. Not only was my visa denied, my dream was denied.
Right.
And at the time, even though I'm more of a wholesome person now, at the time, the sole purpose of my existence was acting. I didn't care about anything else. Like, I didn't care about the world. I didn't care about anything. All I wanted to do was be the best actor that I can be, to wake up and be on set and to act and to do what I love doing, do something that I've sacrificed so much for. And what a waste it would have been if I had to go home empty-handed like that. So
I think so too. I think that's so neat, because you were kind of on that edge there, but you got past it. And now look where you're at.
It's whatever is meant for you, it will happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does require trusting a little bit, but I was so close to. I was convinced it was never going to happen again. That I was going to have to be, rely on my broadcast journalism degree.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's worked out, because I think you're such a talented actress. And I know you're just getting started. That's the exciting part, is it's just going to keep building. You're going to get bigger and bigger roles. So it's going to be fun watching your career develop.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So talk a little bit about your character on Resident Evil. I know you play a scientist, but talk a little bit about it. What's her role? What kind of secrets is she hiding? What's her purpose?
My role is the role of Amrita Singh, who's working in conjunction with Jade Rusker, and we're both looking for the cure of the T virus.
Yeah.
And we're also
kind of important.
Also, it's so interesting that we were shooting this at a time in our lives when there was a virus outbreak in reality. And I remember when COVID had just started, we were all going through a hysteria. We didn't know what this virus was going to do. Are we going to turn into zombies? How are we going to protect our families? The whole toilet paper debacle, all of that. And I think a lot of that fear and hysteria, I, as my character Amrita, could use for this show, because we were also in this show trying to protect our families, trying to find a cure so that our families can see a future. I'm pregnant in the show, so I want to be able to find this cure. I'm not just finding this cure for humanity, but also because I really want my family to, really want to be able to see my child in the world. So there was a human element to Resident Evil that I don't think we've ever seen before. So far it's been about sci-fi, about the games, and about horror. but this time this series is really tapping into a human element that we haven't seen before, and stories that I think my dad, someone who's never ever seen anything about Resident Evil, someone like him can relate to, because it really is about family and protecting each other and surviving in a virus-ridden world, which we all can relate to.
Yeah, for sure. It really is. The timing is kind of weird.
Timing is kind of weird. I mean, I still remember, like, in between takes, we have to still keep our mask on, keep those screens on, and then when we're actually filming, we're filming about finding the cure for a virus. So,
yeah.
So yeah. Drawing the parallels with reality were very interesting.
Yeah. Did they? Well, I'm sure they did. Netflix dropped the whole season at one time, right?
Yes,
yeah. I've started it, but I haven't finished it yet. So I'm excited to get to the end of it. I'm one of those, like, I like binging, but then I'm disappointed when it's over. So
I know, me too.
So I try to make it last a little bit. You know, I want to extend it a little bit, because I like talking about it and kind of building up the excitement for it and stuff.
No, I'm the same way. I feel like I've lost a friend. You know?
Yes.
This one thing was giving me company, and now it's gone.
It's like everybody was upset about Stranger Things keeping the last 2 episodes, you know, coming out at a later date. I was like, that's great. Now we can talk about it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, they're out now. Okay. But like this new season, they put all of them out except the last 2. And then you had to wait a month for the last 2. And I was like, well, that's okay by me, because now I can talk about it.
Exactly.
But yeah. So did how did the actors, going back to Star Trek, how did they accept you on set, or how were they toward you on set? Because that's a very tight cast, and you're coming in kind of as an outsider. You know, were they receptive? Were they fun to work with? How'd that go? Oh, did you freeze up? All right, so we're back. Yay. I'll say minor technical difficulties, but that was a decent technical difficulty. Kicked us all the way out. We had to come all the way back in.
But here we are.
But here we are. We survived, and just like you persevered throughout your career, we have hung in there for this interview.
Luckily, it didn't take 7 years.
Yeah, it was a little quicker than that. So what I was asking was going back to Star Trek Picard, how did the cast, how were they as far as being receptive? Because I've heard that that's a very tight-knit cast. So were they good to work with, or was it uncomfortable? What was that like?
They were so good to work with.
Yeah.
They were like family. Michelle Hurd, who plays Ruffy, so sweet. I felt like she was an older sister, really looking out for me on set, because I had a huge pregnant belly, this prosthetics belly, and she took it upon herself to make sure that I was comfortable on set, made sure that I had a place to sit, that if I needed anything, that I could just tell anyone. She was giving me, acting wisdom. My co-star, who is Mason Gooding, he was wonderful too. So nice to just look at them work together. Also, they just had such an organic chemistry. And the best of the best, Jonathan Frakes, the most incredible director that I have worked with.
He's what an actor, but he's such a talented director.
Such a talented director. And we had such a short time together, but even just in that much time, I learned so much from him. He has the most warm personality, the most warm handshake, and comes to me and he told me, he was like, as an actor, you should always be looking out for where the camera is, because otherwise you can get lost. So know where the camera is. You deserve to be here. Your family's going to watch this episode because they want to see you. So don't hide behind anyone. Make sure you're aware of where the camera is. And also, he gave me so much screen time. You know what I mean? He really valued every reaction, every smile, every little thing. He cared about that. And I love a director who cares. I love a director who knows your name, who cares about your presence, no matter whether you're a big actor on set or a small actor, to give you that, real estate. It's so sweet. It's unheard of.
Yeah, how nice, especially for him. He's been doing this for a while to, to open up and to give you that space to work. That's amazing.
Seriously, yeah. I've worked with other actors. I've worked with directors who are really big, and I'm not going to say anything, but
yeah.
But it's just that sometimes if you're a smaller actor on set, a co-star or a guest star, sometimes you don't get that much attention. Sometimes you're just overlooked. But that was not what I experienced on the Star Trek.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've heard that he's exactly that type of director, and he does such a great job. The episodes that he directs for whatever series it is, they're always top notch and just really good.
I didn't get a chance to work with Sir Patrick Stewart, but I think that he also sets the tone for the rest of for the rest of the crew and for the show. So everyone does maintain this, family like bonding on set, whether a new person is coming in or not. I think it's because he sets the tone.
Yeah, I think as a fan or as a part of a fan community, that's what we want. I mean, we don't want to hear that, Jonathan Frakes or Patrick Stewart, that they're just not good to work with. We want to hear that they're a family, because that's how we kind of look at Trek. We look at it as a family.
Also, I think that your on-screen heroes, if they are heroes in real life too.
Yeah. Then you got something.
Then you got something. Then you have an icon. Then you have a star. That's what makes a star. When you see someone on screen and you love them for who they're portraying, but they're also embodying the same qualities in reality.
That's right.
That's so rare in our world to find that.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. So true. Is there a genre that you haven't done yet that you're dying to try?
Yeah, I have not done anything comedy. I've only done drama in my life.
I think you'd be good at comedy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope this can open some doors. If someone's hearing out there,
I'm going to make some calls. I think once they watch our YouTube channel of you trying to teach them to dance, they're going to be like, oh yeah, she can do comedy.
She can do comedy, or he can, or we should just have a sitcom.
No, they will not be saying. They'll probably be applauding your patience. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Ayushi, this has been the best. I'm so happy that we got a chance to speak. You have to come back, because I know you got so much more that's going to be coming out now. You got to come back again so we can talk some more.
Oh, I would love to. I hope there's another sci-fi show that we talk about very soon.
Well, I would not hate that if there was.
So it was from co-star to guest star. I hope the next one and the series.
Oh yeah, you need it. I could see you as a Starfleet captain. You could be running a ship
in my Bollywood attire.
They haven't done that yet, so why not?
Why not? Here's to inclusivity and diversity.
Yeah. I'm on board with that. And if you need a goofy first mate, I'm your guy.
Yes. I'll remember you.
Yeah. Don't forget me when they give you this big job. Say, who would make a good, maybe not first mate, maybe second mate. Maybe
I need second. You. Yes, I want.
Yeah, I think so. So a couple of things before we wrap up. Anything else that you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
I have a feature film that is coming out sometime towards the end of the year. It's called Love Me Stupid. I'm excited for that to come out. And I think just on a personal level, I think I'm just trying to, move on in my life. Also, find a partner, get married. Those are all important things to me too. So I think to look out for
life goals.
Yeah, that's what lies ahead. Hopefully, that'll happen soon too.
Yeah, it's exciting. Did I see you did something in a a Dorian Gray type of movie?
A Dorian Gray type of movie?
Dorian Gray, is that possible?
Yes, that's in the works with Bohemia. That's right.
Okay. I thought I saw something. I didn't see much about it, but I was like, oh yeah, because I always enjoyed that story, that tale. So yeah. All right, very good. Very good. So last thing before I let you go, where can we find you on social media?
So on Instagram, my handle is at Ayushi Chhabra official. And on Facebook, it's just Ayushi Chhabra.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yes.
Pretty easy. And you've got the nice ones. You know, like Instagram, Facebook, it's mostly just pictures, and that's the nice ones. If you start you get on Twitter and stuff, and then it can get a little, it gets a little angry.
I am on Twitter, but I actually don't engage on it much. I think that Instagram and Facebook, just those two platforms, take up so much of my time that
we're all on, like all of us are on Twitter, but we're not on Twitter.
No. Yeah, I'd like to.
Now you have to. Do you do TikTok?
No, I don't. I should do it.
You need to.
Yeah.
Because you, with your dancing and stuff, that's what's on TikTok is the dancing.
Okay, I'll look into it.
You could do that. Yeah. TikTok's a tough one though. You have to have a little bit of technical skills, I think, for TikTok.
Yeah. See, it kind of like intimidates me a bit, but
me too.
I should surround myself with more young people.
Yeah, I'll watch it, but I don't engage.
I've tried to create one, and it just intimidates me. I need to talk to someone about it.
How to do this. There you go. That'll be part of our YouTube channel. We'll get somebody younger to teach us TikTok.
Yes, let's do that.
We'll do episodes. We can have an episode with us with the dancing. We can do a TikTok episode. It'll just be us learning things.
Yeah.
I think we're onto something.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm on board with this. And we can have an episode where we try to find you a date.
Oh, like Indian matchmaking.
Yes.
I love that. That's actually my favorite pitch so far.
Yeah. What if we brought you to West Virginia and tried to do it here? We tried to do it here.
As long as he's willing to move to LA.
Yeah, of course. He'd have to be.
You have to be.
Yeah. He can't be disrupting your career.
No.
That would be a show I would watch.
Me too. Okay, that's very exciting. And then you can learn how to do Bollywood dancing at our wedding.
Yes. There we go. That's a documentary right there.
Wow, we have so many ideas.
Yeah, you're going to be very busy. You're probably going to have to turn some jobs down. Be very busy. Well, thank you so much, and you have to come back. We got to do this again.
No, I would love to. Please.
Terrific.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Okay, hold on one second. All right, so that was the talented Ayushi Chhabra. Apologies for the little bit of technical difficulty, but nothing too difficult. That stuff happens with Zoom once in a while. One of the things I love to do with this show is I love bringing people on that I think are on the verge of really hitting it big. And I think Ayushi is one of those people, really talented, has hung in there, kind of put the work in. I think we're going to see a lot more of her. So definitely keep an eye out. And if you're a Resident Evil or a Star Trek fan, definitely check out her work. She's terrific. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again this week. We definitely don't take that for granted. You can find I think today we put out episode 433. You can find all of those on our website, Meisterkhan.com, audio and video. So definitely check that out. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, that'll be on the website, Meisterkhan.com. You can help us by subscribing. If you're listening, subscribe wherever you're listening. If you're watching, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Meisterkhan Pod. That helps us out so much, and it's free. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it really helps us. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.